This video is for the algebraic reasoning final exam review video. This video will be over pages 1 through 3 or 4. We'll see how I'm feeling. So problem 1 says Jake sells houses and makes a 6% commission on each house he sells. Write an expression for the commission he earns on his sale. So his commission is 6.5%. 6.5% as a decimal is 0.065. Remember that we Beyonce it to the left, to the left. Of means multiply, so of his sales. So that's an S, not a 5. So C equals 0.065 times S. Problem 2, we just divide both sides by -4/5 to solve for X. When we divide in my calculator, we have -28 divided by -4/5, and we get 35. Problem 3 says that Selena deposited $150 to her savings account. After the deposit, she had $564. Write an equation and solve. So she has a certain amount of money. She deposits. Deposit means add in money, and after that, she had $564. In order to solve for X, we would subtract 150 from both sides, and X equals 414. 4 says the difference between a number and 8 is -12. Find the number. So a number and 8, difference means subtract. So the difference between a number and 8, so a number minus 8, means equals -12. In order to solve, I would add 8 to both sides, and N would equal -4. Kelsey is 5 years younger than Drew, who is Y years old. Write an expression for Kelsey's age. So Kelsey is 5 years younger or less than Drew, and Drew is represented with Y. So Drew minus 5 would equal Kelsey. They did ask for an expression, so we leave it without any equal signs or K or anything like that. 6 asks us to evaluate the expression 4R plus 2U minus V. If R is 1/2, U is -2, and V is 3/4. So we plug in all of those values. So R is 1/2, so 4 times 1/2, plus 2 times U, which is -2, minus 3/4 for V. So with this, I'm going to plug it into my calculator exactly like I see it, and make sure that I put parentheses, like pretty much exactly what I have typed in is what I'm going to type into the calculator. So in my calculator, I have 4 times 1/2 plus 2 times -2 minus 3/4. Excuse me. And if I want to turn this into a fraction, I can do math inner. So -2.75 or -11/4. Problem 7, they want me to solve for N. In order to solve, I will add 5 to both sides first. So N over 6 equals 8. And then multiply both sides by 6 because N is being divided. So to get rid of division, we would multiply. And 8 times 6 is 48. Problem 8 asks us which of these is a function. So in order to determine which of these are functions, we will look at x's. In order for it to be a function, it means x does not repeat. Problem 1 has x's that repeat. Problem 2 is good. Problem 3 has x's that repeat. Problem 4 is good. So we're looking for 2 and 4, which is option B. On problem 9, we're working on setting up an equation. She has $18 to spend, pizza's $11, and drinks are $1.50. If she gets, they want to know max number of drinks if she just gets 1 pizza. So the pizza costs $11. That is a one-time fee. So we can knock out A and B. The only difference between C and D is the direction of the inequality. Remember that what you spend has to be less than or equal to what you have. So that would be answer choice D. Problem 10, they ask us to find the domain and range, so I'm going to write down my points and go from there. So domain covers x's, range covers y's. My x's are from -1 to 5. I always go least to greatest, excuse me, least to greatest using less than signs. And then the only other thing I have to remember is to put the line under the inequality at 5, because when x is 5, we have a filled in circle. My range is my y's. Y's go from 3 to 7. Again, we go less than. And when y is 7, there is a filled in bubble, so we do the line under the inequality for that as well. The other example is a ray where we have a point and an arrow that's going to continue going. So remember, when we have an arrow, we frame our equation, or frame our arrow, excuse me. So the arrow is going this direction, which means it's going to the right and it's going down. It is starting at the point -3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excuse me. So x's are starting at -3, y's are starting at 5. And then we use the green arrows to figure out what's happening. My x's go left to right. This arrow is going to the right, so it's going -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my x's are getting bigger. My y's are the up and down arrow. This one is going down on the y-axis. If the y's go down, that is less than. And neither of these have a line under the inequality because the bubble is not filled in. Excuse me. Problem 11, they ask for the range for this example with the domain. What I'm going to do is put this into y equals and then look at the table for these x values. So in my calculator, I'm going to type -3x squared plus 4 and go to the table. When x is 1, y is 1. When x is -2, y is -8. And when x is -3, y is -23. So again, anytime you're asked for domain or range, just plug the function into y equals and look at your table. Problem 12 asks us to write the relation through the mapping. So remember, with mapping, we start at an x and we follow it through to a y. This x of 2 goes to 4. It also goes to 6. So 1, 2, 2, 4, and 2, 6. 13 asks us to solve. So -2 times 3x is -6x. -2 times 2 is -4. I haven't done anything with anything else, so I rewrite. Combine my like terms to get -2x's minus 4 equals 12. Add 4 to both sides to get -2x equals 16. And divide both sides by -2 to get that x equals -8. $14 has a cable company that charges $75 for a one-time installation fee and $20 per month. The other company does not charge an installation fee but charges $35 per month. For how many months of cable service would they be the same? So another word for the same is equal. So we have the first company at $75 plus $20 per month, and we want to know where that equals the other one that has no one-time fee but a price per month, or a charge per month. In order to solve, I'm going to move my m's to be on the same side, so I'm going to subtract 20m from both sides. So I have 75 equals 15m. I will divide by 15 to get that m equals 5. 15 asks me to identify the rule and complete the table. So to identify the rule, I'm going to take my top 2 points, everything I have completed, and put it into stat edit. So 3, 7, and 0, -2 are going to go in my calculator. So I click stat edit. So 0, 2, I'm sorry, 3, 0, and 7, negative 2. Okay, so stat, calc, 4, enter, enter, enter. So our equation is 3x minus 2. Now I'm going to put this in y equals. And look at my table. In the table, I'm looking for what happens when x is negative 4. When x is negative 4, y is negative 14. And when y is negative 17, I just saw I was close to this, x is negative 5. And when x is 8, so I'm going to scroll. When x is 8, y is 22. And when y is 16, x is 6. So with this problem, you're literally taking anything that you can, putting it into stat edit, and then using the calculator, letting the calculator fill in the rest of the table for you. Problem 16 asks us to graph. In order to graph, we have to solve for y. So negative 3y equals negative 2x minus 9. Divide everything by negative 3. Y equals 2/3 x plus 3. So I start up at 3, up 2, right 3, up 2, right 3. There's my line. 17, slope of a vertical line. Vertical line is a vux, so the slope would be undefined. Horizontal line is a hoi, so the slope would be 0. For 18, a line containing this ordered pair, we're going to put into stat edit. So 1, 3, negative 5, negative 5, stat calc 4, and we get that our slope is 0. '19, we're going to do the same thing, plug in the points 2, 3, and 4, 5. Stat calc 4, and our slope is 1. '20 asks for the rate of change on the graph, so to go from point to point, I go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I go right 2, so my rate of change is 5/2. Remember that this is an increasing line, so it would have a positive slope. Problem 21 asks for the M and the B. The B value starts at 5, so I can knock out C and D, and then I go up 1, right 2, so my slope would be 1/2. And 22 asks me for the equation for the following table. So I'm going to take this table, type it in exactly like I see it in stat edit, and see what the calculator gives me. So I have negative 3, negative 2, 4, 6, and 10, 8, negative 4, negative 8. So stat, calc, 4, enter, 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 and I get negative 2x plus 4. For my equation.